If we're going to use the periodic table, it's important that we be able to navigate around it, using some of the common language to describe it. Let's see what some of that language is. First, we make a distinction between the rows and columns. The rows on the table are called periods. Counting down from the top, the period starting with K, potassium, is the fourth period. The columns on the table are called groups. There are two main numbering systems for the groups. The more modern one is numbering them left to right from 1 to 18, as shown here. The group starting with nitrogen would be group 15. An older way to number the groups is to use A's and B's. The two groups on the left are groups 1A and 2A. The next 10 groups all have the B designation, although you may notice that there are 3 groups all labeled 8B. The system then returns to A with groups 3A through 8A. With this system, the group beginning with nitrogen is group 5A. Both of these numbering systems are still commonly used. The elements in groups with the A labels are sometimes referred to as the main group elements. The elements in groups with the B labels are sometimes referred to as the transition elements or transition metals. The two rows of elements at the bottom, we do not call them separate periods for reasons we'll see later, are referred to as the lanthanides and actinides. We often think of an element as a metal or a nonmetal. The border runs along a diagonal that is roughly here. The metals are the elements to the left of that diagonal. Metals tend to be solid, good conductors of electricity, and lose electrons when they react. The nonmetals are the elements to the right of that diagonal. Nonmetals are often gas, poor conductors of electricity, and gain electrons when they react. The elements that run along the diagonal are sometimes called metalloids. Metalloids are most often solid, semiconductors, and may lose or gain electrons depending on which element they react with. Rather than worrying about exactly which elements are metalloids, know that the border between metals and nonmetals is fuzzy, with the elements along the border having intermediate properties. Some of the groups on the periodic table have specific names that we should know. Group 1 elements, other than hydrogen, are referred to as the alkali metals. Group 2 elements are called the alkaline earth elements. Group 17 elements are referred to as the halogens, and Group 18 elements are known as the noble gases. Learning the language of the periodic table and knowing how to get around the table will make it much easier for us as we explore the elements and talk about the compounds that they make.